Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to episode number 13 of the Los Angeles Clippers MyNBA series here on NBA 2K24. Today's episode is going to start a little different because we are not playing the first game of the week. We're actually going to play that Suns game that's on prime time. But before we get to that game, there's been some shocking news in the NBA and we'll kind of recap how we got to this point. Starting off with the Celtics. If you remember last episode, the Celtics lost Jason Tatum for the season. The Celtics, they're looking to find a guy to replace him in the lineup. So they're going to bring back Kemba Walker, who spent 2 years with the Celtics from 2019 to 2021. They'll sign him to a 1-year minimum. That is not the big news that is going to take place today's episode. He is a part of the Celtics, but that's a reason why Boston signed a point guard. Now, Damian Lillard, if you have not been paying attention, has won it out of Portland. They've tried to run it back this year for one more time, but the Trailblazers are not a good team. So there is no better time to move on from Damian Lillard than now. The Trailblazers sit 14-17. They're out of the Western Conference race, and Lillard has not made it a secret that he wants to go to Miami. He's sitting at 19-13, one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference, but they want to get back to the NBA Finals, so they're going to try to get this trade done with Lillard. Now, the reason we touched on the Celtics earlier is because it's almost impossible to make this a two-team trade, so that's where the Celtics come in. They sit 17-15. They're still a playoff team, and they want to make a push. They lost Tatum for the season, so they need to make some adjustments, and a blockbuster trade has been agreed to. Lillard will go to the Heat. This is a look at the full trade if you want to pause it, but the Heat are going to get Lillard, Matisse Thybulle, and Justin Jackson. The Trailblazers, they're going to get a lot in return. They're going to get Tyler Herro and Nikola Jovic from the Heat. They're also going to get a first-round pick from them. And the Celtics, they're part of this trade. They trade Malcolm Brogdon, Al Horford, and Jordan Walsh to the Trailblazers, as well as a first-round pick in this upcoming year's draft. Now, the Celtics, they're getting 2 first-rounders, as well as Duncan Robinson to potentially replace Jason Tatum in that 3 spot, as well as a nice center in Jusuf Nurkic. They get younger at that position, and the trade has been made official. Big move on the first day of the new year. Might as well start off with a bang. Here's a look at everything that went down. But Lillard is finally out of Portland. He has gotten his wish. He is in Miami, which happens to be the next team that we face. I would have liked to play this episode, but there is a primetime game against the Suns, and I got to play the primetime games. We do lose to the Heat. I'm kind of glad we didn't play this game because we lost 130 to 123, and Lillard in his Heat debut dropped 54. Not a bad start to his career with the Miami Heat. Now, another trade also went down on this day. It's a lot smaller. The Cavaliers traded Ty Jerome to the Warriors for Corey Joseph, so the Cavaliers get a veteran at the point guard position, while Ty Jerome is a little bit younger, and he's going to Golden State to be Steph Curry's new backup. So that brings us to our game this episode against the 21-12 Phoenix Suns on the road, and this is not going to be pretty if I had to take a prediction. The Suns are a phenomenal team, and remember, we're without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard for this game. Leonard will be back later in the week, but we have to get through Phoenix first without Kawhi Leonard, and, well, the Suns are a very dominant team. But we're here in Phoenix for this primetime matchup on Wednesday night. Here's a look at the lineups. The Suns will be rocking with Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Josh Okogie, Kevin Durant, and DeAndre Ayton, while your Clippers will have Russell Westbrook, Brandon Boston Jr. getting the start, Norman Powell, Nicholas Batum, and Ivica Zubac. Hope you guys are ready for this one. If you are, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more basketball content, as we're underway and the Clippers will win the tip. They'll be rocking the whites tonight, while the Suns will be wearing their black on the home court tonight. Batum swings it over to Boston, who's getting the start at the 2 in replace of the injured Leonard. He's doubled up, dishes inside for Westbrook, who actually kicks it back out. I think Westbrook should have taken the shot, but he takes it anyway from the mid-range and makes it. So the Clippers get the first points of the evening. We'll see the Suns' first possession as they sit 21-12 on the season, one of the best teams in the Western Conference. Made it to the NBA Finals just a few years ago. They'd love to make it back to that point, as the first possession for the Suns ends in a miss. And the Clippers trying to go the other way. Boston thought about pulling from 3. Swings it around to Westbrook. He's going to get a screen of his own. Boston, the loss to Miami, had 19 points on 7 for 17 shooting. Wasn't efficient, but not a bad start. As Westbrook gets the offensive board, he's snuffed underneath by DeAndre Ayton, who is a force down low in the paint. It's not going to be easy to try to get inside against him. And a lot of the Clippers offense comes off those drives. Here, kick it out left side. Here's Bradley Beal being guarded by Zubac, and he's going to step back and miss over the center. Nice defense there by the Clippers. We're trying to push the pace the other way. Powell, thought about popping from three. They're just going to reset for a play. He gets the screen right side, tries to draw it inside, and gets the and one foul. So Powell will go to the line for a three-point play as the Clippers now up 4-0, and after the free throw are up 5-0. Norman Powell's really got to step up in this offense and replace Paul George for the rest of the season if this Clippers team wants to be competitive. Now, I know they don't sit at the best record, but this team still believes they can fight and make it to the playoffs, especially when Leonard gets back, but that's not going to help as nice pass over the head of Zubac from Devin Booker finds Ayton inside, who's averaging about 14 points per game this season, about 10 rebounds, basically a double-double on very efficient shooting. So after the Suns get their first points of the day, here's Norman Powell on the other end, trying to look for a screen, doesn't really get it. Swings it over to Westbrook. We get a screen from Batum. Tries to drive inside. Should have taken the layup there. Instead, Batum's going to miss the three. So it's another look I think Westbrook actually should have taken advantage of. Because now the Suns go the other way. Devin Booker at the top of the key. He's going to get a screen right side. Tosses inside for Ayton, who's going to try to back down on Zubac, and goes up and misses. So decent defense there. As Ivica, that's been his one weakness this season, I would say, has been defense specifically on the transition game. Powell now from the mid-range, left side, misses, but Nicholas Batum able to get the rebound. Just going to kick it out because Ayton is there. There's now 7 seconds left on the shot clock. This is a lot of movement going on, but not a lot of people getting open. As here's Zubac inside with 1 second, he hits. They got him with a much smaller Bradley Beal inside, and the Clippers were able to take advantage of what looked like a pretty disjointed possession, as they now lead 7-2. Here's a Koji. He drives inside, pulls up from the stripe, and it hits. Nice pump fake to get his man in the air, and that'll be the third and fourth points of the night for the Suns. It's Russell Westbrook now with the ball. He's going to give it up to Zubac. A little dribbled handoff, and Westbrook tries to drive inside, attacking the basket, and gets absolutely swatted. Ayton sent that one way to the three-point line, and now the Suns on the other end, after the big defensive play, gets a screen left side from Durant. Bradley Beal, the former Washington Wizard, who came over in the massive trade in the offseason that netted Washington 4 first-round pick swaps. Good step back. He actually gets swatted, though. Russell Westbrook with good defense. We don't see that as much these days as that ball will go out of bounds. Stay here on this side of the court, though, with the Suns. Hands off the inbounds pass. They find Booker right side, and he's going to try to go up with it. He's going to miss. Good defense there again by Los Angeles. They're showing it early here in this game. Now Boston again has it at the top. About 8 seconds left to go in this first frame. As they get some screens for him left side. Nothing really there. Good defense by KD. As Boston can't get by his defender, he's just going to hand it off to Westbrook, who has to try to make something happen with 2 seconds, and he loses the ball. So not a good possession there by the Clippers at all. As now on the other end, Durant in the transition finishes with an and one. The 2014 NBA MVP finds the hoop for the first time tonight and ties it after the free throw, and the Clippers will call timeouts. All tied up at 7 apiece through about 5 minutes. We'll go 5 minutes later into this game at the 2:22 mark, and the Suns have continued their good onslaught on offense while the Clippers have gone a little bit cold. 24-17 lead now for Phoenix as we get into the final minutes of this first quarter. And the Clippers got to do something with the basketball here. Is it over left side? Bones Highland now at the point. Powell's still in the game. He's going to get a screen left side, try to drive inside, and he's actually going to draw the foul. So that'll be on Chimezi Matu, the former Sacramento King, who sends Powell to the line, who makes his 6 points of the night. A perfect 4 for 4 from the free throw line. And he makes it 5 for 5. So a 24-19 lead now in favor of Phoenix. 2 minutes left here in the first frame. As you can see, Devin Booker is currently in takeover mode. He's had quite a second half of this first quarter. As Plumlee's on defense on Drew Eubanks, but Booker trying to get inside. Nice step back. Can't connect. So that'll hopefully help. Has now rebounded by Plumlee. We'll give it up to Bones Highland, who's going to push it up to Powell. Had a cutting Batum inside. Didn't quite see him. So we get over to Terrence Mann. Man who's been involved in a lot of trade talks with Philly for James Harden potentially. We'll have to see what happens with that, especially with the Clippers not playing good basketball. I'm not sure if they'd want to make a James Harden trade at this point, as with 1 second left on the shot clock, they just had to heave up a 3. I think LA had a very good knowledge of where the shot clock was at. Now here's Booker inside. Tough right-handed hook, and he's able to connect. Devin Booker with a tough finish. Gets it up over 2 defenders. It's now a 7-point lead now for Phoenix, 26-19. And Booker's still in takeover mode. Now Highland trying to work on his man Bradley Beal. Tough defense by the former Wizard. He's now with 8 seconds left on the shot clock trying to reset. Highland's going to pull it from the mid-range, and he can't connect. Another bad shoot from the Clippers there. It's now with 40 seconds. Booker's trying to run the length of the floor, and he does connect. Nobody stops him before he gets to the paint, and that's 2 more. The Suns push the lead up to 9. The defense starting to lack a little bit, and the offense has gone cold. Not a good combination for your Clippers. As here's Batum now at the key. He's going to hand it off to Powell. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Tries to drive inside. Tough finish with a right. Can't go. Another miss there by LA. And the Suns can hold the clock to the end if they want to. Hold the ball to the end, if they want to. 12 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Beal gets a screen right side. Step back. Didn't pick up his dribble apparently. I thought that was a travel, but instead it's over to Matu for 3, but ball don't lie. It's a miss. And a full court shot at the buzzer almost goes. But the Suns have a 28-19 lead after the first quarter of play. Now halfway through the second, it's now a 12-point lead. The Suns lead 42-30 as this Clippers offense. 30 points, and we're halfway through the second. It has not been a good output. You can see Boston is cold. Just can't get anything on offense. Here's just a lot of dribbling around. There's just not a lot of attacking the basket. As there's Westbrook inside now, trying to get him on the low block. He doesn't like what he sees, gives it up for a cold Boston who misses the shot, but good rebound. Westbrook goes up with it again, but he can't finish. Should have just gone up with it immediately. But nice offensive board, sends Westbrook to the line for 2, and he'll make the first. It has not been the good statistical season for Westbrook. He had a very good stint since coming over to LA last year, but it hasn't really translated this year. His numbers don't look all that bad. His points per game is way down this year, but his efficiencies are well below where he usually is. So Westbrook needs to pick that up, especially if you want to make the playoffs at some point. So you need him to play like the MVP he's been in the past. So still a 12-point game here after the shot by Phoenix goes in. As now Westbrook over to Batum. Another dribble handoff, gives it up to Powell, and Powell actually gets stripped. Nice hands by Josh Okogie, and he's going to try to push the length of the floor, and he will be fouled. That's a smart foul by Powell, as it'll send him to the line, make him earn the 2. But he does hit the first. And the second free throw is up and in as well, so he gets it the hard way. But it's now a 14-point lead, 46-32. As you can see, both teams' percentages from the free throw line has not been the best for both squads, to say the least. Here's Westbrook, isolated on Booker, trying to drive past him, can't. Picks up his rebound, gives it up to Batum, and that'll roll around before missing. And the Clippers still have not made a shot in quite some time. On the other end, Okogie drives inside, finds Durant, who gets hacked by Batum. And that'll send KD to the line. As Durant back to the stripe. He does hit the first free throw. Durant, one of the better free throw shooters in the league. One of the best shooters of all time, mind you. He makes both. And it is now a 16-point game as the Clippers starting to lose pace here with the Suns as we get to the 5-minute point of the second quarter. As Powell gets a double screen right side, finds a little bit of a lane. He actually gets bumped. No foul. They're obviously not going to call one on KD. And he gets the rebound. He's going to push it the other way. Drives inside, and he'll be fouled this time by Plumlee. So they don't call the foul on the other end, but they call the bump on Plumlee on our side. So, you know, maybe a little bit of superstar treatment at its finest. So once again, that'll send KD to the line. The 13-time All-Star makes the second. It's now an 18-point game. As you can see, the Suns a little bit more efficient at the stripe. Only made 11 of 13. That's not where the offenses come from. Powell gets inside, gets by his man. He can't finish. Again, Drew Eubanks is there. And now Powell is ice cold. And we have a couple of players on the court for the Clippers who can't seem to make a bucket. In a game where we really need Powell, he can't seem to get it done as there's a loose ball foul by KD. So they actually do call Durant for some sort of foul. But we need Powell even more than ever in this game. No Leonard, no George. Somebody's got to step up to be the leading scorer. I thought it would be Norman Powell, but it's not really looking like it. He's being guarded right side. They're trying to get Batum open off ball. He thought about pulling from the 3. Instead, trying to drive on KD. I don't think that's going to work. I think Kevin Durant's by far and away the better defender. Now he gives a screen for Westbrook, who pulls from the mid-range, and that one's going to rattle in and out again. And again, the Clippers can't seem to buy a bucket. You might as well put blue circles on all 5 LA Clippers on the court, because none of them can make a jump shot. Westbrook right side screen by Eubanks. And now that gives Booker a matchup on Plumlee, and Booker can't seem to go over, so we do force a miss, though. So the lead doesn't extend to 20 just yet. As Powell now on the other end trying to drive inside, gets the contact, but again doesn't get the call. There's been a lot of contact in the paint for the Suns, but the refs aren't blowing the whistle. And I think the Clippers are getting a little frustrated as there's a step back by Booker that doesn't miss. They'll quickly push the pace again. Powell trying to get inside, tries to throw that alley-oop for Batum, and well, it's actually going to fall out of bounds. That one was swatted away by Durant. So still an 18-point game. Westbrook gets the inbounds ball. 13 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Doesn't get a good screen as Batum has to reset. They only got 7 seconds. They got to try to make something happen here. Batum's going to pull from 3, and he's going to miss. That was a good look, but again, they can't connect. Batum, 8 points on the night. He is 2 for 6 from the free 3-point line. As there's a miss by Durant. He's able to get his own rebound, though, and he doesn't finish again. So a rare 2 Durant misses underneath the baskets. We'll definitely take it. As on the other end, there's a drive inside and 1. That'll help as Powell goes to the line, but we'll go to the end of the half. The Suns have a 55-45 lead going into the intermission. Can the Clippers keep this one close and potentially take the lead, or will the Suns run away with it? We'll find out in the second half. I had a feeling this is kind of how this game would go. I mean, the Suns are one of the best teams in the league, but I'd like to see the offense be a little bit better. Only shooting 37% from the field. It was never going to be easy, but we got to at least try to keep this one somewhat of a respectful game. So we go into the second half, down by 10, 55-45. The Suns will start off with the basketball. And Durant, right off the rip, gets a wide open 3. Well, that's not going to help. We're less than 10 seconds into the game, and somehow Durant gets wide open on that left side off the off-ball screen. That's now the 14th point of the night for KD, who had 11 in the first half. Shot very efficient. It's now Westbrook with the ball. He's going to get a clear lane inside, and he can't finish. Again, we missed, but Zubac this time with a rebound, but he gets swatted by Ayton. Gets the ball right back, but second chance points. You got to capitalize on him. Powell gets his man in the air. He tries to drive inside, and this time tough finish, and he gets it to go. Again, more contact at the rim, but no foul called. But it was a finish for Powell. Nice job taking the contact from Ayton. And it's now 58-47. That's a nice little floater on the other end from Bradley Beal, who's got 12 points now, shooting 50% of his own. It's now again 60-47, a 13-point lead. As Westbrook on the other end is going to drive by his man, get inside. That's a good finish. Keep the ball away from Ayton as Westbrook rocks him like a baby. I don't know if I quite say that, as he's only shooting 40% from the field tonight. On the other end, Booker gets a screen. He's matched up against Brandon Boston. There's that step back again, creates the space. He misses, but Ayton gets the rebound. He gets the and 1. Westbrook, I mean, really didn't have an option there. He just kind of had to foul Ayton and hope that he didn't make it, but he did. But he does miss the free throw, so at least it's not a 3-point play. On the other end, Powell wide open. He hits the mid-range. Nice vision there to find the open Powell on the other end, and hopefully this is what Norman needs to potentially get out of this little rut. He's had a very good start to his second half. This is now 62-51, still in favor of the Suns as Beal fades to his right and connects to the long-range 2. Nice shot there by Bradley Beal. The Suns shooting over 50% on the night while your Clippers are shooting under 50%. It's not a winning formula. Handoff now for Boston. He's going to give it right back to Zubac. Now a handoff for Westbrook as he tries to drive inside, and he gets to the rim, but he's unable to finish. And that puts all of the Suns in takeover mode because, of course, we never get a full team takeover, but the computer gets it all the time. And they're able to drive to the rim and get the foul call on Norman Powell. So this is not looking good, as 2K does not like to put me ever in turnover mode, or takeover mode, excuse me. Okogie will miss the first. He will make the second, and the Clippers will call timeout. Now a 14-point lead in favor of the Suns. We'll go 5 minutes later into this game, and it's now a 17-point lead in favor of Phoenix. Clippers just trying to hang in there, but the offensive outpour from the Suns is just unable to be matched tonight, as there's a nice miss on the defensive board. I mean, when you're missing your two best players by far, it's kind of hard to keep pace. Powell missed the long two, and it's going the other end. Here's Eric Gordon, the former Los Angeles Clipper, actually, who has the ball. Gives it over to Beal at the top. It's a screen from Ayton, trying to drive inside on Westbrook. Good defense, but he finishes anyway. Now a 19-point lead, and, well, this one's really starting to get away from the Clippers. This is just kind of their downfall. I mean, they have two superstars in Leonard and George, as there's a charging foul. I don't know if I would call that a charge, as I definitely think the defender was moving, but nonetheless. But we just don't have a lot of depth on the bench. I mean, if Leonard and George get hurt, which seems like the inevitable now, it's just hard to keep pace without them in the lineup. And this is full display here, as Durant misses a high arcing shot. Had to get it over the hands of Plumlee there. It's on the other end, and more disjointed offense. Powell reset at the top of the key. Covington has checked into the ball game. He does not give the Powell the screen that he wants. Instead, that ball swung over. A long pass. Durant actually got a piece of it, but it stays with Covington. And there's a bad pass intercepted by Bradley Beal. It's another turnover now, 10 on the night for the Clippers. And the Suns again looking to take advantage. Beal over to Booker in the corner for three, and he connects. Devin Booker pushes it now, a 22-point lead in favor of the Suns. And this one has really started to get away from him. You can see some of the bench players coming in for Phoenix. Westbrook tries to drive inside. He gets fouled. We'll go to the end of the quarter. It's a 21-point lead for the Suns, and with this one kind of being a blowout, we're just going to sim to the end of the game. Well, I'm going to play to the end of the game, but we're going to pick it up at the end. And this one even got uglier. A 37-point win for the Suns. I'm so glad we actually didn't watch the fourth quarter, because the Clippers just ran out of gas. The old vets just could not get it done, and the Suns destroy us. Now, I know it's tough. I know this is going to be a tough game, but, I mean, we're starting to get blown out in a lot of the games that we play. I get, this isn't the best team on paper, but it's honestly gets to the point where it's not really fun. Like, just taking these blowouts. Like, we shouldn't get blown out like this 2 times in a row. So I am going to take a look at the sliders, just maybe tweaks a couple of things and make some of these games somewhat competitive. I mean, goodness. Another trade happened in the league. DeLon Wright got sent to the Lakers, and the Lakers actually gave up Gabe Vincent and a first-rounder to the Wizards for him. I think Washington definitely won that trade. A couple of re-signings around the league as we see Jared Vanderbilt signs a 3-year extension with the Lakers, while the Bulls have been dishing out some money. A 2-year, $60 million extension to Lonzo Ball and a 3-year, $120 million extension to DeMar DeRozan. So the Bulls really want to keep their core. We do finally get some good news. Kenyon Martin is back from injury, as well as Kawhi Leonard. So we will be fully healthy minus PG-13. But in our first game with a full healthy lineup, we lose 125-113 to the Pelicans. Leonard did score 38 in his return, but just not enough from the rest of the guys in the shooting department. And then we lose 115-112 to the Lakers, as that is now a 4-game losing streak for your LA Clippers. It is not looking good. A week definitely to forget. And another trade happens around the league. I don't know what necessarily this full trade was, but it looks like the Rockets gave up a ton for Evan Fournier. I don't know why they would do that. He's played like only single-digit minutes this year. But apparently Dylan Brooks is on the move to the Knicks, and as well as a pick swap. So good fleece by New York. Damian Lillard wins Eastern Conference Player of the Week in his first week with the Heat, and then Nikola Jokic gets it for Denver. So not a bad week there by Lillard. That'll bring us to the end of this one. We have 4 games in the next week. We're going to play that Memphis game on TV in Memphis. Hopefully get a little bit of a better result than we have in the past couple of games, because it's been a while since we've watched our team actually win. But thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry the games haven't been necessarily competitive recently, but I appreciate you guys sticking out. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.